Well, good evening, everyone. It's Friday night. It's almost 10 p.m. on the East Coast, but you might be on the West Coast because you're an AdamCarolla fan, former or current. So, what better, thread, I guess, post to look at to answer in the form of a podcast than this one, which is coming from autism isn't a choice. Is that from something? Because it's funny. Um, Here's the post. Why y'all consume so much Adam Carolla stuff? If you hate him, question. I decided to check out the sub and it's just so much bitching about Adam Carolla. Yeah, so the question of, I always assume a post like this comes from someone who's associated with the show somehow and is tasked with like, can you clean up our social media? Like, can you clean up our Reddit? Like, we got control of our Facebook, we got control of our Twitter. If you can have control of the Twitter, but the one place where people go and consume the show and actually do daily reviews of episodes is a shit show. Like they've tried to create our Corolla, right, which is I believe now private. Um, they've tried everything. They can't seem to fix this place, right? And so you get an honest question like this. This person may or may not be associated with the show, but it just makes me feel like that whenever I see these type of questions. And so I can answer it, but let's see what people answered first. Snoopy suited. We're sick of him doing our best. So this is actually, I think the most common type of post on this board, especially that gets upvotes and gets laughs, which is a joke that is meant to be demeaning of Adam in some way that actually uses a joke that Adam made originally in its jokingness. So it's like doing Adam's best was a whole New Year's resolution thing. So it is quoted when we are trying to describe, yeah, we wish he was better like he used to be. That's why this gets upvoted. So then why listen to him is what autism isn't a choice says. How old is this account? 4 years. All right. I mean, we could look through and I could try to dig, but I don't read everyone's stuff. I hardly do. I just do one at a time. So Snoopy Suited throwing out the I don't listen thing. I've said that too. A lot of us don't listen anymore. So they're fighting about it. And Llama Camper then jumps in as well, which Llama Camper I think doesn't like me. I'm pretty sure. I would also associate with this show as well. How many years ago? 9 years. I don't know. We'll find out. This person listens daily. Is that because you're paid to? You literally said today that you haven't listened in 2 years. So you're commenting based on show summaries and other people's comments. Yes. This is why you actually point out a great point here, Llama Camper. I'll give you credit for this because it's very important. So you're like, you shouldn't be forming opinions about Adam's audio podcast when you have the ability to listen to it. And you shouldn't be forming your opinions off of it from secondhand information, hearsay, if you will. Heard Adam say, right? I heard Adam say this, I heard Adam say this, or even I didn't hear Adam say this. I'm just going off the show summary. Here's the problem with this, though, is that even though in a perfect world, we all would consume the content with which we're so emotional and what's causing us to post and stuff on the board, which is the Adam Carolla show or whatever for the daily show thread. Yes. In a perfect world, you listen to the episode and then comment on it. But that's not the way that 21st century social media and everything works now. Now it's like the fastest way you consume a TikTok or a tweet or whatever is what you form your opinion on. And nobody sits for the whole movie anymore, or at least not as much as they used to. So you can't stop this from occurring, meaning whatever media is out there and whatever social network you're on, that is going to drive what people think, regardless of whether or not it's true. I agree with you. If it's not true, it's not fair. Totally understand, but it's still going to happen. So we can't shut the F up because everyone gets their information in some fashion like this off of other people's content. Not everyone listens. All right. Long one. Nice. Okay. Turf Monkey says, yeah, I just listen because, I know it sucks probably, but Turf Monkey doesn't say that, but yeah, I'm just here for the ride. Oh boy, another one of these threads. Yep. That's right. You get a podcast about it. I did a whole podcast talking about this part. We were all gigantic fans back when he was saying 2017, boy, that's generous. I would go earlier than that. I watched him recently speak with Bill Maher. Yeah, I saw that episode. That actually was pretty good. So there's one where I did have perfect information. Yep, I agree with you. The Bill Maher appearance was good. It was good. Was good. I should do some impressions. I haven't been doing impressions. I'm tired. I played some hockey today. All kinds of things. Autism isn't the choice. Tom Jones rocks. Yeah, I started reading this and Tom Jones. What is that from? That's from maybe it's just Tom Jones rocks because he does. All right, this I look for. Yeah, we can do that. It isn't easy to listen to the Adam Carolla show. I look forward to listening to. I'll have to go through my Tom Jones repertoire before I can really do Tom Jones. Yeah. Listening to Love Live back in the day and probably never laughed harder than when Adam's fastball was at its peak. That's right. We're talking baseball. Oh, do you want to talk baseball? For people who ask me why I have 1,200 plus subscribers, it's because I write the code that basically makes the lines that the odds makers do every day because I'm so good at it. And I do it for a bunch of different sports. So I got people that follow me that for stuff, for people who wanted to know why I have a bunch of subscribers. The answer is sports. Oh yeah, and other stuff, payroll, a bunch of other things. I do a million things besides bitch about Adam Carolla. So let's get back to this thread. Adam, I'm getting us through our teens and 20s. However, maybe he could get me laugh when girlfriends weren't working out shit. Yeah, like I have good memories of driving. Mine are driving. What you're saying here is I'm alone in the middle of a Vermont highway, right? At like 2 a.m, driving a van full of hockey kids home, praying that I can get an Albany or Schenectady radio station that carries Love Line. That's the good memories that we have. So if you want the honest answer here about why are you still here if now you hate him, the answer is we hate who he's become. We're here because we remember him being good, and occasionally some of that firecracker shoots out of being good. Because why should it have dissolved completely? It's a fundamental aspect of his personality. And then you start to get into the whole, well, why do we hate him? Which I could get into. I don't know if anybody talks about it, but we'll see. Because hate is a really tough word. And I think the answer is we probably do hate some things about him. I was thinking about titling this podcast and I wanted to be like, we're not listeners. We're not even former listeners. I mean, call us former listeners, but occasionally I'll listen to something. So I can't really call myself a former listener if I still listen to something, right? So I was like, well, what's the term about what we are? And I realized we're Lynnistners. Okay, you're combining the word Lynette with listener to get Lynnistners, which is people that probably still have affinity for him, but just can't deal with him anymore. I think that is more accurately describing what we are. So that's the answer to your question. Why is Lynette still, still coming to parties, right? Still fulfilling commitments related to showing the business because everyone's adults, I guess, right? All right. Then we get into transitioning and Joe Rogan going down the dark path of extremism, apparently. Yeah, the Prager stuff. Yeah, at least we haven't seen Prager in months. I haven't seen that name in the show thread. I hope he doesn't come back. So maybe Adam just stops, like, did Prager do good things for him? Like, this is how bad Prager is, right? I'll complain about Prager just briefly. When you have to pay YouTube to make your videos ads instead of being videos so that they can somehow get out to the public, because your videos are deemed to be essentially like structured propaganda, which is what it is. And YouTube is like, Google's like, listen, we can't allow you to call yourselves a university when you're talking about probably the good things about burning natural gas or something, like stuff that's clearly not right. So there's a whole host of videos they had. So not having him around is good. And I think we should thank him. We should thank Adam for not having Prager on in a while, because I've been paying attention to basically the show thread every day. I don't remember Prager being on. I'm sure it's very searchable. I would imagine it's been more than a year, and hopefully he won't come back. Trump stuff, whatever. We could get into a Rogan fight. For Vigilant, this guy's thoughtful. This name is awesome because I mean, this is dick spray name. Like Provigilant was a spray for your dick to keep it hard because it like novocaines your dick or something, right? It like gives you weird nod sensation. Don't know, didn't try it, but but the point is that's what this name is, and that anytime you freeze something, it was Dick Spray Guy. Dick Spray Guy used to come on the show. At least Dick Spray Guy is funny as hell because of what he does. Anyway, Adam used to tell us not to question authority, and we believe he was a force for good in the world. Now he thinks the authority has aligned himself with the elite. Wait, what are you talking about? Now he thinks he's the authority. Ah, yes. Instead of thinking for yourself, he's now saying, do my best, listen to me. And he's aligned himself with the elitist douchebags he warned us about, like Tucker Carlson. Carlson, I understand, is a guy who has lied a lot and had people on his staff who are like known racists or something like that. His belief system or whatever quest for fame that he is on is it's a shame that people watch him because it's clear that he's not on the level. Right. So I don't like hanging out with people that are not on the level because I just want to call them out all the time. Therefore, we feel betrayed. And yeah, this is true. And we use this sub to vent our frustrations and make fun of Adam's hypocrisy. Yeah, to more to prove ourselves right, to be like, we're not. I feel like I want to make sure I'm not crazy, which all you think I'm crazy. That's fine. I'm not really crazy. But I did want to make sure that it wasn't me, like, because here's what bothers me about all this is when you think about listening to hours and hours and hours of Loveline growing up and taking that information as medical professional information and assuming it is kind of like universally true. And then to find out that the source of that information is not providing stuff that passes your smell test now in your older age. I mean, I'm 42. Right. I'm wondering how many people are in their like late 30s, 40s on this board. But it makes you think like, oh my God, was I being duped all along? And the answer is no. All these other smart people around also feel the same way and feel like Adam is completely different, not us. And he was better then. And so anyway, it's a very detailed answer to your question, because I think that you could, if you do work for the show and you're trying to figure out how it is, somehow you got to convince Adam that he has to acknowledge that there is a established community of people that know way too much about him and bitch about him way too much. Right? But he's let this board happen. Like you could have communication with the people on here if you wanted to. I mean, I have been to the studio. I walked in and I brought them Habit Burger. I brought them like 8 or 10 cheeseburgers or something like that, a bunch of different burgers, and just dropped them off. And they didn't arrest me, even though I just walked in. No, they were super nice. I talked to Kalen back when he worked there, and was a nice guy. And they were super cool. I actually told them about NFL algorithm when I was there, not the baseball one, but the other one. So they could communicate if they realized there were real people on the end of this. I don't think they know how to deal with this board, because you have to acknowledge it. You can't just let it fester. Or you get this where everyone's just out of control. Boom got him. I listen once a week or so until Gina really turns out, oh yeah, God, we have it. Here's a thread where how many minutes I'm into this thing, and I haven't mentioned the word Gina. That's the other issue. If Adam acknowledged that we like all want Gina out of here, everybody wants Gina, even people that don't listen want Gina out of here. All right, haha. Yeah, it's true though. She doesn't seem to add anything enough beneficial, and if anything, draws away. Tiki, you commented here. You think I listen to this regularly? No. Who's honking horns? No, I peruse and contribute to this Boars. Yes, you do. He has typos a lot. I noticed this typo situation. Now, the kind of typos he's making are making me think he's not using speech to text. It makes me think he's physically typing. And he's also maybe not using predictive text, because they're weird typos if you've seen what he puts up when he writes a lot of paragraphs. So I assume you're typing a lot with your hands and being quiet, not speaking. I'm always speaking. into whatever. I'm almost never typing. So anyway, just something about how people post. Further, the anti-Gina. Now, what happens when you win and Gina gets fired or moves on to a different show, whatever you want to call it? What happens then? We're going to pick a new. We're going to hate the new woman, right? No matter who she is. Are there good women? Tiki, give me a good woman, right? Richard Parker, tell me a good woman who should go host. Because we're wondering, do we not like women altogether, right? Give me the best alternative female. Oh God, let's not get into trans answers. I'll just call a woman co-host, news girl / right, whatever you want to call it. Yep, tell me. See what he says. He's gonna be like, Ayn Rand. I don't know what he's gonna say. We'll find out. It's Reddit. Everybody on Reddit hates everything. No, that's not true. Everyone just complains. And we've also had, there's a common statement as an answer to this, which is people that listen to complainers all day like to complain themselves. Adam is a known complainer, so a lot of his fans are obviously going to be complainers too. So that's the basic podcast. And I'm doing it because even though which is fascinating, I did a video, it's got like 100 something views from yesterday, and it's got 4 dislikes and no likes. And most of my videos have nothing but likes actually, and no dislikes, because I'm doing free sports, not free sometimes, but sports predictions and different payroll stuff. So people have a strong negative connotation to this. And I think it's people that work for the show personally, but I'm sure it's other people too. And nobody ever comments really negatively, but if you don't like this, then why are you in this forum? That's what I want to know. Because I like this. I always find this is a nice reprieve from doing whatever other work I'm doing, because it's just so interesting. And it always has been for years. So yeah. So that's your podcast. Do we want to talk about Leo Flowers? Not really. I wish Dag was on the show. I would be listening if Dag was on the show. So maybe somebody tweet Dag, right? Tell him I said Ken wants you on. Ken wants you to call, and Juana wants you to call Adam a right wing, troll his face, and see how he actually responds and has a real conversation. See if you can do that. All right. So good luck, everybody. May all your podcasts be enjoyable.